Hi there guys, so June 20th, that is when Anthony Joshua will take on Kubrat Pulev for his IBF title, Kubrat Pulev being the IBF mandatory. Now, Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua's promoter, believes that this fight will be a lot more smooth than the Andy Ruiz Jr. situation because obviously Andy Ruiz Jr. won that fight in epic fashion on June 1st. Then Anthony Joshua got straight back in there like a true champion and won his belts back. But ultimately, Kubrat Pulev is believed to be an easier opposition than Andy Ruiz Jr. And that could be dangerous because you underestimate an opponent and you allow them an extra 20, maybe even 30% in the ring because every opponent deserves respect and Kubrat Pulev should be no different. This is what Eddie Hearn had to say about Anthony Joshua going into his training camp. It's a lot easier for Pulev than it was for Ruiz Jr., who was an unorthodox style. Ruiz Jr. is 6 foot, 19 stone and very fast. His hand speed and technique is almost unheard of. Pulev, more straight up and down. Great right hand, technically good from the amateur perspective. He's been around, he's boxed Vladimir Klitschko and been unbeaten for a long time. It will be easier to determine sparring partners. I leave the training to Rob McCracken and AJ. They are a team and they put the team in a place with a view for perfection. Last time they got it spot on with Joby and Angel. Great additions. It's a process of improvement. Adding things to the team will get you to the top. AJ is really tough to beat, whether it be against Pulev, Fury or Wilder. He's going to take all of these big fights. So that's what Eddie Hearn has had to say about Anthony Joshua versus Kubrat Pulev, because Anthony Joshua is just about to start his training camp for Pulev. Now, I agree with the fact that sparring partners will be a lot easier to gather for Anthony Joshua. He does have his pick of sparring partners that will help him get ready for Kubrat Pulev. Robert Helenius, that would be a good addition. Maris Vac would be a good one as well. Maybe they are not the level of Kubrat Pulev, but they definitely have a very similar style and they are very upright. They are taller opponents as well. So as you can see, there are plenty of opponents that Anthony Joshua can bring in preparation for Kubrat Pulev. Whereas for Andy Ruiz Jr., how can you find someone who is 6 foot, 19 stone and that fast? I mean, it's almost unheard of. So that is why the preparation for Andy Ruiz Jr. was a lot more difficult than it will be for Kubrat Pulev. But once you get in the ring, Kubrat Pulev is not to be underestimated. He is a good fighter, he can punch, he can box, and he has a good right hand and a jab to set it up. So that kind of guy with his amateur background and his pro record with only one defeat coming against Vladimir Klitschko, which is nothing to be ashamed of, a prime Vladimir Klitschko. So ultimately, Kubrat Pulev is a lot better fighter than many people are giving him credit for. I mean, many people think that he's just going to walk through him, it's going to be an easy job. Not the case. I think Kubrat Pulev will cause Anthony Joshua problems. He is a good fighter, but I think in the fight, Anthony Joshua will show levels. And I think that is what ultimately will get him through this fight. I think that Anthony Joshua can take it to a different level than Kubrat Pulev can. Because Pulev has one style. He's quite one-dimensional. Whereas Anthony Joshua has proven he can do it many ways. He can go on the back foot, he can stand there and trade. He can also sit in the pocket, get up close and work on the inside. Obviously, those uppercuts are great from Anthony Joshua. That is a good weapon for him when it does get close. That's one thing he might try and do. Obviously, Kubrat Pulev has a good jab. He likes to establish that and work off of that. So perhaps Anthony Joshua will work on slipping that jab and then countering. Those uppercuts will be great as well, especially when Kubrat Pulev is coming in. If he can change his angle, make him fall short and land an uppercut when he falls in, then it's going to be curtains for that fight. So ultimately, Anthony Joshua's training camp for Kubrat Pulev will be smoother than the Andy Ruiz Jr. fights, both of them, when you consider that sparring partners will be easier to come by for Kubrat Pulev. As I said, Robert Helenius and Maris Vac would be good opponents for Anthony Joshua to bring into camp. There are so many others as well. In fact, guys, drop your thoughts in the comments below about that. Leave some thoughts on that. Who do you think Anthony Joshua should bring into camp in preparation for Kubrat Pulev? What sparring partners would you like to see him bring in to his camp in order to prepare for Pulev? And also, guys, drop your thoughts about this fight. Do you anticipate a tougher night for Anthony Joshua than many people believe? Guys, drop your thoughts in the comments below, click your thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.